What's going on, my friends? My name's Corrupt, and it's time to talk about Miner Hog Hybrid at Town Hall 11. We're going to break down two of the strongest variations of Miner Hog Hybrid, Queen Charge Hybrid and Zap Hybrid, within this video. So if you're interested in seeing more Town Hall 11 content here on the channel, make sure that you're subscribed and ringing the notification bell so you guys don't miss any of my educational Clash of Clans content. But with that being said, let's get started. So everyone knows Miner Hog Hybrid. It's a very strong attack strategy. It works really well. So what are the things that you need to understand in order to avoid having something like a time fail or anything like that? Well, remember that when you guys are doing this attack strategy, you guys want to look at the clan castle. You want to take a look at what is in the clan castle radius. Will you get something like a multi-inferno? Those are going to be things that you want to look for. So in this case here, we can actually go ahead and do a charge right into here for the Inferno Tower for a couple of these defensive buildings. What we're doing at this point is creating the pathing right here necessary for us to get right into the base. That's what we want to do. So if you guys are seeing bases where the town hall is not completely on the outside and it's just a little bit offset, you can definitely take advantage of this by sending the hybrid up to get the 1-star and also, of course, to get through the rest of the base. So that's what you want to make sure that you're doing. Very simple, though. You just want to make sure that you're looking at whatever's in the range of the clan castle, and that's going to help you kind of dictate through this. This example as well shows that you might not be able, or there is some decent zap value. I will have to say there is some decent ZapQuake value that you can get, but I wouldn't really go with the lightning spells in this case. I think it's a lot better if you just do a standard hybrid, because you'll have more heal spells as you move through. You'll have more rage spells for your Queen Charge, and it's just going to easily work themselves right through. It's not really the best base design here, but it's definitely good for hybrid, which is definitely the reason to why the attacker is going to be using it. So the main thing that you want to make sure that you're looking at is going to be the things like the multi-inferno and like some other defensive buildings around there. Even getting deeper into the base by using another super wall breaker in order to go in deeper is definitely something that you may want to do with your attack. So definitely something to keep in mind when you guys are using this. Now, for the most part, you do want to make sure that you are dealing with the clan castle. In this case, we have a balloon, a couple headhunters, and the witch in there. But with the queen and what we were able to do in terms of creating the funnel, all we have to do is drop a poison and drop the rage spell over the healers and the queen in order to make sure that we are protecting our queen, killing off the enemy clan castle, and dealing and keeping her alive. This is exactly what you want to try and make sure that you're doing with a Miner Hog Hybrid. So we've already taken care of the clan castle. We've already taken care of that. We could have used 2 baby dragons if you want. Now at this point, once you've actually cleared the clan castle and you've gotten yourself some decent pathing, it is now time to go ahead and start your funnel on the opposite side. This can be anything from using the siege barrack or even the king. But you want to make sure that you are creating the opposite side of the funnel. So you may want to use a couple wizards behind the king, or maybe a witch or 2 behind the king, in order to create one particular side of the funnel if you do not have access to the siege barrack. So keep in mind. So just keep that in mind. It's definitely very important, and it's definitely going to help you in case you want to use this without having access to the siege barrack. Now, when you are using this, take a look at how the queen is going deeper into the base, and while that's going on, we can send our hybrid right in for the town hall. Even though that there are a couple Teslas there, it's going to easily work ourselves right through. It's what I would call easy pathing. So you want to make sure that that is the case. So as the hogs and miners kind of move through, they're just going to be moving down to the eagle artillery, and they start to push through. We can take advantage of the dead zones here around the base, including something like this we can take advantage of, because the miners will go straight for those and the hogs will go right behind it, and they'll kind of split around in order to help the miners and the hogs get through the rest of it. So that's exactly what I would be trying to do when you're doing the Miner Hog Hybrid. Hopefully this is going to give you guys a really good idea of how to add that queen charge with your attack, making sure that you're able to create a funnel on one particular side, you creating the funnel on the other side with the siege barrack and or the king, and then making sure that you're able to send your miners and your hog riders into a good area where they're not going to split, there's not that many dead zones, and that's going to help you get through the rest of it. And that's why you see, like on this one here, this dead zone is actually a great one, as it kept a lot of the miners and hogs to keep going this way, because the last other defense was right here. So just keep that in mind when you guys are doing this. There's a lot of different things that you can do with the Queen Charge. You can go up against single target Infernos. I would suggest bringing a free spell in this case, but otherwise, let's go give you guys an example of how to deal with the Clan Castle with the lightning spells, and then using the Queen Walk or even a Queen Charge to funnel out one side and send the hybrid in. So in this second example, we've got the Zap Hybrid. So what about this attack strategy or this variation makes it better than the Queen Charge Hybrid? Well, for one thing, you're not going to be doing a Queen Charge. You're not going to be entirely doing a Queen Charge. You're not looking for the Clan Castle. Specifically though, you want to look for the, really any defenses that you can get from a Queen Walk, or maybe even using a couple super wall breakers to break in. You're rarely ever going to bring a rage spell with this, but you can bring a rage spell. But of course, if you don't feel the need to charge in, then you do not need a rage spell. So in this case, remember that you want to make sure that you're looking at the Clan Castle. Look for any defenses around it. You want to get rid of the defensive buildings around this Clan Castle. That way what you're going to be able to do is create the pathing that you need specifically for your hybrid. So we see that the Eagle Artillery down here is basically going to be a very easy place to get rid of the Eagle right immediately. So what we want to do is we want to do a Queen Walk this way. We're going to set the funnel on the other side with the King and or Siege Barrack on this side. And our pathing for our hybrid is going to look like this as they start to move through. That's exactly what we're going to be kind of seeing within this example. So it gives you guys a really solid idea into how you guys can actually use this. So you'll see the use of the lightning spells in order to get rid of the Clan Castle, to get rid of a couple different defensive buildings around here, before dropping in the Earthquake spell in order to take down the rest of the defensive buildings. Now, unfortunately, though, we do have storages, so this could have been a better base for miners, but Hybrid was still able to get it done. So, of course, you just got to really think about how this could mess up your attack, especially with having a lot of non-defensive buildings in there that could cause you to really have a bad time when you're doing your Hybrid. You may notice up here that we're doing a bowler bounce on these structures as they have the same amount of health, so using the bowler bounce there will easily allow us to create one particular side of the funnel. Now, what we're going to be doing here, other than that, is we do want to try and get in to get this multi-inferno, but even if the queen doesn't go into there and gets it, that's completely fine, because we're creating the other side of the funnel with the siege barrack and the king. Notice that we're just using that king first before we put down the siege barrack. If you don't have access to the siege barrack, like I've said before, using the king on one side is not a bad idea. You don't have to use him to funnel the queen. You could actually use him to create the other side of the funnel. Now that you see this, you'll see the use of the hybrid going right in for the Eagle Artillery very early on. Keeping that Eagle Artillery up is never usually a good idea, so getting rid of it early on like you see here is definitely a good point. You'll see that what our pathing here on this one is almost like an L shape. So again, L-shaped pathing. You want to make sure that you're looking for that specific, direction. That way you're going to be able to keep your hogs and miners going through the rest of the base. So you'll see the use of the first heal. We want to make sure that we're keeping our miners and our hog riders alive. After this, though, we could either use a rage spell like you see here, and we also want to use the Warren ability in order to provide the support for the hogs and the miners as they start to move through. The reason that rage spells work really well with them, especially if you don't need them for your queen, is that they push these miners and hogs right through, and it's really nicely done. Now you see here that we had a lot of our hogs and miners split. This is something that you want to avoid. So here in this case, our miners and hogs are going to thin out for the most part. This is just going to let you guys know that because those storages were there, it did force the hogs and miners to split, and it really kept them from getting through swiftly. It made them split. So this could have been a better base for the miners, the Zap miners. It could have been a little bit better because they'll go for each and every defense or any other structure that is in there, whether this be a storage or an army camp or anything realistically. So in this example, the storages would have been taken down along with the miner, or throughout the rest of the base. But for the most part, it's not too difficult, especially with this attack strategy. This gives you guys a really good idea of what happens when something doesn't perfectly go to plan. So the hybrid all thinned out, but the queen was able to clutch it up. So hopefully this gives you guys a good idea on that. But now let's give you guys one final example of hybrid, whether this be a queen charge hybrid or a zap hybrid. So in this final example, this base is a fairly common base. You guys saw this. If you guys haven't seen my Town 11 Zap Lalo breakdown, we broke down this particular base in that video. And again, a specific base can have multiple different weaknesses, and this is also one of them. You'll take a look at the base design and you will see that the clan castle is lurable, but if we break in and walk this direction, or if we have the king lure out the clan castle, we can take down the clan castle, eagle artillery, and the multi-inferno. Some fairly good value around this location. Unfortunately though, our queen doesn't do that, and she will be walking kind of like this around the base. So it is going to force us to fix this attack and go for this eagle artillery, as it is in a awkward position, and we want to make sure that we're able to get to it. So this could mean that some of the hogs may split down this way, while we want to make sure that we're keeping a fair chunk going through the rest of the base and moving around over to the town hall. But for the most part, we want to take advantage of these dead zones. So we want to make sure that we're keeping some hogs and miners to kind of go this way, using some of the hog riders to take this down, and then for the rest of it, we're allowing our queen to kind of get rid of it all. But for the most part, remember that you need to really pay attention to these dead zones, because they are going to really kill your attack if you are not careful. So make sure that you are keeping them in mind, because it could really be a big hindrance for your entire attack. So what we're going to be seeing here first is using the queen and trying to get her to go right in for the eagle and for the inferno tower. Unfortunately, she will not target onto the eagle artillery, as she's just going to stay on the outside. You also want to make sure that you are funneling her, whether this be using a baby dragon on either side, or using maybe an E-drag if you'd like. So there are a lot of different things that you can do to provide support for your queen, as you can force her way right in. Now, unfortunately, though, we had a super wall breaker go this way, so that is why she prioritized that one. And after the building went down, she's going to focus on these specific structures going down this way, as the king kind of messed up with her pathing. So now that we've kind of lured out the clan castle, like you'll see here, we're going to be able to reach the multi-inferno. We're going to drop a poison to deal with the clan castle, and we are going to drop a rage, most likely in order to deal with that. So there we go, drops in the rage in order to keep the queen alive, and we're going to use that rage to our advantage by keeping that queen alive even through the eagle artillery, and also to make sure that we're able to get down that clan castle. So now what we're doing on the other side is using the siege barrack like we've seen before. So instead, we've got this sort of area funneled out. So we want to make sure that we're sending a couple of hogs in this way, and we want to make sure that we're sending in a couple of hogs going in this way with the siege barrack hogs. So keep that in mind as we're going through with this. So now we're going to send in our miners kind of like this right into the base, kind of through this dead zone. So that's exactly what we want to see. So we want to make sure that they're moving through the base. So the miners will kind of come up here with some of the hog riders, as some of the hogs kind of go this way. And you'll see everything's still moving through nice and swiftly through. We've got 3 heal spells, which means that we can use 2 heals before we use the warren ability. And we can use a rage spell if we do not need it for the queen charge or queen walk, and to just really push the miners through the base like you see here. And the rage synergizes really well with the miners and with the hog riders, and it really provides a lot of good support for them, even underneath a heal, which they can definitely benefit from. For the most part though, this gives you guys a really solid look into using the Miner Hog Hybrid. Hopefully what this does is it provides a little bit more understanding of it if you're new to it, or if you're struggling with both the variation of Zap Hybrid and regular Hybrid, the Queen Charge Hybrid, then definitely this video is really going to help you guys. Hopefully this video kind of serves you well. You guys saw a couple times where the attacks could have failed, and definitely they did not. So hopefully this kind of helps you guys. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Are you guys having success with the Zap Hybrid and the Queen Charge Hybrid? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure that you guys are also going ahead and following me over on the social, on Twitter, Instagram. Make sure that you're following me over on Twitch, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you guys don't miss any of my educational Clash of Clans content. Don't forget to also go ahead and join my community Discord server. The link to that is in the description below. And also don't forget to use code CorruptYT to save up you guys 10% off your purchase. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.